Hi, everybody. It's me, Tess, with Tess Loves Yarn. And you guys are probably wondering, where the heck have I been? I haven't posted a video for weeks. Well, I'm here to tell you all about it because I have not been in the country. I have actually been overseas to the UK. So we spent time in London, and then we flew up to Scotland and we spent time in Inverness and Edinburgh, and then we flew home from there. So, what I have to tell you is so exciting because, you guys, I met up with friends in the UK. This was totally unbelievable. I was so excited. And I want to tell you about it in the order that I saw people. So, the very first person I saw is Lisa. And you guys know Lisa from Lady Bird Loves. And let me tell you, if you haven't checked her out, I'm going to post a link to her channel below. And please go over to her channel and show her some love and give her some support. She is amazing, and I think you will all love her very much. I know I do. So, Lisa actually came to see us when we were in London. She had to take, I think 3 different trains, and it took her 2.5 hours to get from her where she lives to London. And when she got to London, she came right to our hotel and came up to our rooms and got ready, and we left the hotel and went and had afternoon tea. If you guys have never had tea over in the UK, it's an amazing experience. You get tons of food. Tons of food. They bring you like little sandwiches, and then they bring you like sweets and things like that. You get all the tea in the world that you want, and you get to taste all these different kinds of teas. It's just really an amazing experience. And like I said, it's a ton of food. We had smoked salmon with caviar. I know, right? So it was really amazing. And of course, the best part of all that was I got to share that experience with Lisa. So, you guys, she's amazing. She is exactly how she is on her YouTube channel. I've known her for like 4 years now, and I finally got to see her in person. So that was beautiful. And we had so much fun. She did a live on her channel with me and posted it several weeks ago. I am also going to post that live on my channel in the next couple of days. So be watching for that, or go over to her channel and watch it over there too if you want. So that is a really fun video. And like I said, we had tons of fun. So I'll be posting that probably. I might be able to get that up and posted by Saturday, I hope. So my son is going to help me with a new little intro that I can use for that video, and that's why I'm taking a few extra days to do this. But yeah, I will definitely be posting that over the weekend. I had a great time with Lisa, and I was very grateful that she went through all of that effort and everything just to come and see me. So it was amazing to give her a big hug and actually talk to her face to face. Yeah, instead of through a phone or a screen. So yeah, it was amazing. So we were in London for a week, and then we left there and we went up to Inverness in Scotland, and that is the next place we went. And I want to quickly say, if you ever get a chance to go to Scotland, go, go, go. It is gorgeous. It is the most beautiful place in the world. I mean, I have traveled a lot. I've been to a lot of different countries, and Scotland is by far the most beautiful place I've ever been in my life. I was so sad when we had to leave Scotland. I mean, really sad. If I could live anywhere in the world and I could bring all of my peeps with me, it would be Scotland. Hands down, without a doubt, I'd be in Scotland. So, yeah, just a beautiful place. But anyway, in Inverness, the next person I met was my Susie. And I call my Susie because Susie I have known for over 10 years. We started out as Facebook pen pals through a Facebook group. That's how I met her. We started writing letters and we got along so well. We were such a good fit that we exchanged phone numbers and started talking and doing like FaceTime, over our phones so we could see each other and talk to each other. We've been doing that for years and years and years. Well, when we flew from London up to Inverness, the plan was we were going to go to our hotel. We had gotten a rental car. Big mistake, by the way. Driving is scary there. I'll touch on that a little bit later. But the plan was we were going to get checked into the hotel, and then I was going to call her, and she was going to come to the hotel. However, she surprised me. So when we landed in Inverness, it's a very small airport, and you actually disembark on the tarmac. You go down this big thingamajig and go down onto the tarmac, and then you walk into the actual airport building, which is just a single story and it's very small. So we came off the plane, went into the building, and I immediately sat down and just shortly thereafter, I heard somebody behind me say, "Ma'am, do you need any help with your luggage?" And my brain went, "Boy, that sounds like Susie. That's odd." And I was trying to turn around. My neck wasn't turning right because my RA is flared up a little. And I was trying to see the person. I couldn't see her. But like I said, her voice was like, just like Susie's. And I was like, wow, this woman sounds just like my Susie. And then she pokes her head around to where I can see her, and she says, "Hello, lovely." And I was like, Susie. And I mean, oh my gosh, I started crying. I was just like overwhelmed. So she surprised me by coming to the airport, which I was not expecting at all, and stayed with us while we went through the whole thing of getting our car and all of that stuff and getting all of that figured out. So that was super sweet. So after we finally got our car and everything, we parted ways, and she went back home to let us go to the hotel to get checked in and all that. So we went to the hotel to get checked in, and our room was not ready yet. They thought it was ready, but then they came back and said, "Oh, we're sorry, it's not ready," which it was only like noon. So that was early because check-in was 4 o'clock. But then they told us, "Oh, it won't be long, it'll be ready." So we were like, okay, we'll just go to the lounge area and maybe get a drink or something and wait for the room to be ready. Well, while we were doing that, our next set of friends, who were originally going to meet us in Edinburgh, actually, the plans changed and they met us in Inverness instead, because for some reason Edinburgh was like all sold out. And we found out why. There was a big marathon going on in the city, and actually like two. And so that's why the hotels were sold out. Plus, it was a bank holiday at the time as well. So it was a double thing. But anyway, they were able to get the hotel in Inverness, the same hotel as us, which is the it was the Glenmore. That's where we stayed in Inverness. And they came up for 3 nights, which was absolutely amazing. And they drove quite a distance to get there, which I can't even say how grateful I am that my friends in the UK just went way out of their way to be able to come and see me and spend time with me and Superman and Mason, because the three of us went. And we went to the UK to celebrate Mason's graduation. So he graduated from engineering school. And yeah, he's like moving to Kansas City and starting a real job, and he's doing fantastic. So we did our job and we did it really well. But anyway, back to this. So we were sitting there waiting for our rooms to be done, and all of a sudden, I hear Tess, and oh my gosh, there's Deborah and her lovely Jim, and they were there, and I was like, oh my gosh, and all, of course, all emotional all over again, at being able to see these people that have really meant a lot to me, that I really care about and came to care about long distance. And now I was face to face and in person. So it was literally amazing. And everything that I thought it would be. And I have to say, Deborah and I are soul sisters. We are so much alike. It's crazy. I mean, crazy, you guys. Seriously. Who'd ever thought I would find a soul sister on the other side of the world? Right? Crazy. And her man, Jim, is also amazing, which I knew he would be because obviously Deborah's with him. Right? So he was wonderful too. He actually drove us to the Isle of Skye one day, which is really far away. And we went and spent the day up there on Skye, the Isle of Skye, and it was amazing and beautiful. And I took a little video footage of me crocheting and knitting on Skye, or at the Isle of Skye. So I'm going to try to post that so I can show you guys some of the beautiful scenery of Scotland, because it's just amazing. Also, while we were in Inverness, Suzie drove us around for a couple of days too. I mentioned that we had a rental car. Bad idea. Driving there is very scary. For one thing, they drive on the opposite side of the road than we do here. And you wouldn't think that would be really hard to navigate and manage, but it is incredibly difficult. And not only do they drive on the other side of the road, they have a lot of things called roundabouts. And what these roundabouts are, they could be 2 or 3 lanes deep, and even more actually in bigger cities, I guess. And then they can have up to like 6 or 8 different like get on, get off spots. And you just kind of get on and you go around and you just shoot off onto the road you want. And if you miss it, you just have to keep going around. And you might have to go around, especially if you're Americans like us, you might go around a few times, if y'all know what I mean. Yeah. So driving was extremely stressful, and we decided we were not going to do it. So we were very thankful that we put her on our rental car insurance, and so she drove us Sunday, Monday, and I believe Wednesday. She drove us around Inverness and took us to different sightseeing places. Like we went to the battlefield of Culloden. We went to Clavacarns to see the standing stones. And I touched it to see if I would like disappear into the past, but it didn't happen. I'm obviously still here. You know, what's up with that, right? No Jamie Fraser for me, y'all. but that's okay because I have Superman still. And yeah, she took us there, and then she took us to the ocean so that we could try to see some dolphins at high tide, which we didn't, but it was still beautiful and amazing. So I didn't really care. I didn't see dolphins. Would have been nice, but it's okay. It was still gorgeous. And of course, got to spend time with Suzie, which is the whole reason we originally went to Inverness in the first place, is because Suzie lived there. Yeah. So, anyway, that was totally amazing. We loved it. We had to leave Inverness. Suzie left because she had some family things going on and she needed to drive like 500 miles south to go to her parents' house. So she left on Wednesday afternoon to do that. Jim and Deborah left. You guys, have I been calling Deborah Deb? Oh my gosh, I hope not. Deborah, if I've been calling you Deb, honey, I apologize for that. We actually have friends here in St. Louis, and their names are Jim and Deb. And so it's like, yeah, my brain, it's low blood sugar. My brain doesn't always work right. And yeah, so Deborah, if I've been calling you Deb, honey, I apologize. And I don't think I ever once called you Deb in person. I always said Deborah. I'm pretty sure. But yeah. So anyway, Jim and Deborah had to leave also on Wednesday. So we had breakfast together with them Wednesday morning, and then they left. And we were still there Wednesday, and then we left Thursday and took the train to go to Edinburgh. So that was our Inverness trip, and it was absolutely amazing because of Suzie, Deborah, and Jim. I mean, that just made that whole trip. I only wish that we would have had more time to be with them instead of just a few days. Yeah, it was really sad saying goodbye to both of them. It was very emotional for me because I just love these people. I really, really do. And I knew that when we left, seeing them again, considering the fact I live on the other side of the world, I knew it wouldn't be anytime soon. Except we did see Jim and Deborah again on that Saturday because when we were in Edinburgh, we actually signed up for a tour that we went on to Alnwick Castle. And I discovered Alnwick Castle was only an hour away from where Jim and Deborah live. So sweet as they are, they actually came up and met us at Alnwick Castle. So we got to see them again, which was amazing. And not only did we get to see them, but they brought their granddaughter, Violet, with them. Now, I have seen pictures of Violet, and she is so sweet and adorable. And now I actually got to meet Violet, and she gave me the biggest hug. And oh my gosh, she's so adorable. I can't even put into words how sweet and adorable Violet is. But that just made my day getting to meet Violet. Like I said, I've seen lots of pictures of her. And so actually getting a little squeeze from her tiny little self just made my whole, literally made my whole year, It was so sweet. So yeah, thank you, Deborah and Jim, for bringing Violet up to meet me at Alnwick Castle. That was amazing. So yeah, we got to spend a little time with them there, and then again had to say goodbye. And yeah, it's hard to say goodbye, But here's the good news. I did get a promise from Suzie and from Jim and Deborah that they would come here and visit us as soon as they can. So that was wonderful. Lisa is is not going to visit the US, and that's for her own reasons, which I completely understand. So I will not get a visit by Lisa, but hopefully someday I will go back to the UK and I will visit Lisa again. And hopefully this time I will go to her so she doesn't have to travel and go through all those hoops and what do you call it? The hoops and bells or whistles to get to me, to London. So anyway, it was an amazing trip. And when we were in Edinburgh, Edinburgh is also very beautiful. Not as beautiful as the Highlands, in my opinion, but you know what? Scotland is just beautiful no matter where you are. So it doesn't really matter if you're in Scotland, it's beautiful. Enough said, right? But we had a great time there and we left there to come home. And I tell you, that was an adventure because what was going on in the US was massive storms, like really all over the country. Where I live, we're in a zone called Tornado Alley, and we have a lot of tornadoes here. And so while we were gone, there were several tornadoes. My daughter, the sirens were going off, and she was here with our son, Wonder Boy, and she was having to take him to the place in the house where it's the safest and do all that. And also, there were big storms on the East Coast. So our flights were canceled and rerouted and rescheduled. And we had to go on 3 different planes to get home, you guys. I kid you not, it was crazy. And one of them, we had to fly into Atlanta, Georgia. And we only had a 35-minute window to get from one side of the airport in Atlanta, which the airport is huge. We had 35 minutes from the time we landed until our next plane took off and actually flew away. Well, y'all know they shut that door like maybe 15 minutes before they actually take off. So we literally had like 20 minutes to get from one side of the airport to the other. So what happened was a series of events. Yeah, like Lemony Snicket, right? It was a series of events, but they were fortunate events because they allowed us to get on that plane literally 10 seconds before that door was closed. The man was closing the door as we came up, literally. And my son, who ran ahead, was yelling, you know, my parents are coming, they're coming, don't shut the door. And he actually talked the man in to keeping the door open for us because obviously we weren't moving as fast as my 21-year-old son, right? And he begged and pleaded with this man not to shut the door. And the man was like, okay, I'll wait like 20 seconds. Your parents have like 20 seconds to get here. And he kept telling Mason 10 seconds, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly Mason saw us and he said, they're here, just as the man started to shut the door. So we were able to actually get on the plane and come home. If he had shut that door, we wouldn't have been home until the next day. So that would have been yesterday. We would have been home yesterday instead of late Monday night. So yeah, that was just crazy. And like I said, a little series of events happened to get us on that plane. So it was quite the story. And I might tell you in a future video that story because it was crazy how everything kind of fell into place to get us there on time because things were not in favor of us getting on that plane. And we were actually told by someone on the plane we got off of that we would never make it. We would never make that plane in time. But we actually made it by about seconds, by literally seconds, we made it. So yeah. So that's the story. And that's where I've been. And you guys, I have some things to show you that I got in Scotland. I got some beautiful yarn. I got some amazing hooks that were gifted to me by Deborah. She got me a whole set. Can't wait to show you those. I got some wonderful yarn from Suzie and some other things, some knitting and crocheting items, which I'm going to show you. And the same with Deborah. Deborah gave me some other things too. So I'm going to show you guys all of those things in a separate video. And I am so happy to tell you that I will be making more videos, and I will be posting hopefully 2 videos a week again. And I apologize so much for the big long lapse. And also for the people who won my last yarn giveaway. I was trying very hard to get that yarn to you before we left for Europe. I was, however, not able to. I failed miserably at that. So if you were a yarn winner from my last giveaway, no worries. I am going to get that yarn out to you next week. Unfortunately, I am moving my son to Kansas City. So I'm actually going to be gone for a couple more days, but yeah, then I'll be back and I will get that yarn out next week, okay? So no worries. If you're a winner, I will email you and kind of fill you in and let you know that, you know, I tried to do that. I tried to email some people, but then when I was over there, I couldn't access email and things got a little janky. So I appreciate your understanding on that. And yeah, no worries. The yarn is coming, y'all. The yarn is coming. Okay, so whew. With all that said, everybody, I am going to end this video and get it posted so you guys know where the heck I've been and what I've been doing. And I have lots of videos to come. And as always, if you are a subscriber, I appreciate your loyalty and support so much. And if you are new to my channel, I'd be tickled pink if you'd smash that subscribe button and join me every time I post a video. So yeah, as always, you guys, be kind and be safe out there in the world, no matter where you are. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye, everybody.